This should be played at high volume, preferably in a residential area.
And the cover! Yes! Sensational flip dive by Styles! My God, that's high risk!
What going on? What it do? No, TNA Wrestling has officially reverted back to its original monikers in 2024. I know, me breaking no side news here, but if you told me that Impact Wrestling will be called TNA again in 2016 come 2024, I'd probably respond to you with, wait, Impact Wrestling is still about in 2017?
I live! Dickheads!
Anyways, the Never Say Die promotion, TN Impact Global Wrestling, King, whoever the hell they call themselves this time, really propelled themselves from a fledgling indie company destined to fail to one of the best stories in professional wrestling for this century. And among all the great things, matches, talents, all the above that TNA showcased, nobody came close to matching the gravitas of the man that came and carried the mantle for that company. One man has the best case for the undisputed greatest in TNA history. AJ Styles, the true GOAT of TNA. We are waiting for my start the show. So if you haven't seen the last two videos I made like this on Batman and Triple H, one, what you doing? Go and watch them, please. Go and watch them now. And two, I'll give you a short synopsis of how we break this down. Number one, portfolio. Basically a brief rundown of the origins of the subject and the credentials of the subject that they possess that makes them so exceptional amongst their peers. Basically, the tangible reasons why I think this man is the best. Impact. What the subject did during the prime or early rise to popularity days, and the way it affected their medium/changed the culture. And finally, legacy. Impact that the subject had in the long term. Let's say it's been 10 years since their early rise to popularity. How it's affected the world that they occupy. Me able to explain it more than that, so we'll move from there. Let's begin.
In professional wrestling today, AJ up on the table! He's close! He's got to just go over a couple...
So AJ Styles, born Alan Jones, hails from
Georgia,
in Gainesville to be exact. A good old-fashioned Christian country boy, you'd expect AJ to be more of a fan than an aspiring wrestler. Standing at only 5'9" and maxing out in his early 200s in pounds, you'd think this would affect an American wrestler in the late 90s, especially one that's coming up after the WCW Cruiserweight boom, to want to continue wrestling. But he was persistent. He debuted in WCW near its dying days, eventually found his way in WWE after the buyout under a developmental contract. But if you know anything about WWE in 2001, you know a talent like AJ Styles was better off working at McDonald's rather than making it big in WWE. So AJ would do the smart thing and ask for his release, joining up with a little startup promotion called Total Nonstop Action. NWA Total Nonstop Action, by the way. Styles being poised as the company's go-to was shown from their second show, where he would win the inaugural X Division title. What is the X Division belt? Oh, it's currently TNA's oldest active belt, and the belt that made them stand out in a sea of indies. Styles is a 6-time X Division title holder, a testament to show how much he was seen as a tentpole for that division. He's also a 6-time tag team champion in the company, combining the NWA and TNA tag belts he won alongside Daniels, Abyss, Jerry Lynn, etc. And of course, you can be considered the GOAT by so many people if you win the World Heavyweight Championship at least one time. Well, lucky thing for AJ that is, he's, was it the game Booker T?
5 times!
How much times is that again, OG?
5 times!
3rd time's the charm. Was it again?
Hogan, we coming for you!
Hold on. Alright, we got a little too far there. Anyways, he's a 5-time world champion in TNA. Well, to be exact, he's actually a 2-time TNA world champion and a 3-time NWA world champion. So he's one of the many people who actually double as an NWA, TNA, and WWE world champion. Christian, kinda kungs, but I don't know. Anyways, He's also a three-time global / legend / television / mecha belt that Booker T had that wasn't real but became a real championship. There's a whole complicated mess with the belt. That makes him the TNA's first Grand Slam and Triple Crown champion, by the way. He also won a whole shit ton of awards like Mr. TNA. So yeah, with an award like that, being called Mr. TNA, I don't really need to explain to you just how important he was to this company.
Check this out! Look at this! Oh, man!
Hey, they don't call this man AJ Styles for nothing. If you were like me growing up in the 2000s, then you know how painful it was to watch WWE back in the days, especially Raw. No, if you were from Guyana like I am, this was even worse because we didn't have cable and we had channel 13, but of course, you couldn't watch Raw because Raw was on a school night and SmackDown used to change network so much you couldn't even find it. So when TNA Impact was at its best, we used to always cop a CD of it because TNA was always on CDs back in those days, and every time you would catch a glimpse of them or even on TV, you would always spot an AJ Styles match or AJ Styles just going ham out there. And it's amazing looking back at it, because AJ is so small, but he's also so believable in everything that he does. As mentioned before, Styles is a 6-time X Division champion, as well as being its first champion, a division that was built around fast pace, high octane, no limits balls to the wall wrestling. His time in that division alongside wrestlers like Chris Sabin, Christopher Daniels and Low Key, it really put TNA on the map back in the days. Styles would do battle with Jerry Lynn, Low Key, and a host of others in the early days of TNA, while slowly being propped up to be a world title threat due to his fan reception. AJ would eventually get his moment in 2003, and with at least a tag and X Division reign under his belt, he was TNA's first Triple Crown winner, showcasing the faith that they would have in him. And there was no doubt that he was the face of TNA, despite the fact that WWE cast-offs like Christian, Jeff Hardy, and Kurt Angle all came and were propped as top stars during that time, effectively slowing his momentum. Nevertheless, he'd carry on being a vital part of the X Division, leading to his feud with Daniels in 2005. Now this feud here, which also included Samoa Joe, led to what is called the greatest match in company history, in a triple threat match at Unbreakable of that year. Styles came out the winner and the champion. And if you don't think this match is a classic display of TNA, let me just tell you this is the only 5-star match in the company's history. Also, it's one of 2 5-star matches in AJ's career. The other one just came at the start of this year. So, yeah, that's crazy to think about. It's crazier when you realize the notorious hate of WWE and love of all things high flying and work rate, Dave Meltzer, is the one that engineers the 5-star rating. And he didn't give AJ Styles another 5-star match for 19 years. You wrestling marks really pissed me off, dog. But yes, from 2005 to 2009, it's considered the heyday of TNA in terms of revenue, match quality, and popularity. So, it's no coincidence that around this time AJ was either World Heavyweight Champion, involved in some of the greatest company matches, involved in storylines where he was rallying against all the ex-WWE signees, or he was having ill-fated heel turns that didn't work because nobody, and I mean nobody, wanted to boo AJ Styles, nor did they want to see AJ Styles become Ric Flair. What? Rick, stop interrupting my video. Go, the 2 y'all go so. Thank you. Now where the hell was I? Oh, right. Arguably the biggest impact, and no pun intended on that one, that he had in the company around this time was, ironically, when he was leaving. Yeah, you know how much the fans loved and appreciated AJ? When TNA came up with the Lone Wolf character for the Aces and 8 angle, an angle that was tied into AJ's actual contract negotiation, they realized, holy shit, this man could actually leave us if he wants to, and half of these people watching will follow him. This would start sometime after the garbage Clear Lynch angle. Styles was shown in some creepy vignettes being depressed and angry at home. He'd come back in black, looking all disheveled and homeless, or like the one drunk uncle. After getting a title shot against Bully Ray, Styles would quit the company. Well, actually he won't quit the company, he would threaten in the storyline to quit the company. He'd also revealed that he was working without a contract, which was actually true. And then afterwards he turned to friggin' Super Cena when he would face off against Bully Ray. defeating him despite all the interferences in the match. Then he disappeared. During this time, Dixie Carter would make Magnus Aldis her world champion, and TNA would pull the whole sum of Punk/Razor vs. Michael shit all over again when AJ returned with his belt, calling Magnus a phony. Fortunately, just like Shawn Michaels, he'd lose the unification match to Magnus. This would be his last match due to his contract situation worsening. I've heard conflicting reports about what actually happened backstage, but from what I heard, TNA was trying to lowball this man completely. Like, they were actually downgrading his contract by 60%. That's crazy to think about, bro. This man was carrying your company on his back, and you were going to lowball him this much? Anyways, lo and behold, TNA would go from bad to worse. And ever since then, until they recently made a resurgence, it was a complete shit show.
AJ Styles! Oh my gosh!
So we discussed a lot in the Impact segment, so I can keep this legacy one a bit shorter than usual. AJ was one of the many names that popularized the small but believable wrestler trend that would become the norm in the 2000s and 2010s. He, Bryan Danielson, Daniels, CM Punk, Samoa Joe, and many other names became pillars of the indie scene, and their international success would lead to big companies like TNA and WWE to sign and develop these talents. Hell, AEW was basically built off the back of the indies, a scene whose popularity we partially owe to AJ Styles taking part in some of the most innovative and compelling matches this side of WWE. Speaking of the Federation, they would see just how impactful AJ Styles was and would sign him in 2016, a year before he would hit his 40s, and despite that, he's been a two-time WWE champion, a United States and IC champion, a multiple-time tag team champion, had matches with some of the best in company history like John Cena, Roman Reigns, Drew McIntyre, Brock Lesnar. And may I remind you, he was The Undertaker's last opponent and the final member of the second WrestleMania streak. Yes, I count them two matches as another streak, right? You could fight me if you want. Piss off. But his biggest legacy is of course the success of TNA.
Well, that depends, slapnuts.
Well, most obviously, he wasn't the only factor in it, Jeff. And as a matter of fact, why are y'all old geezers keep interrupting me video, bro? Get from here. Move from down here, dog. AJ wasn't the only star TNA ever had, but throughout the history of that promotion, nobody else has been more prominent in more top matches and moments, nor controversies as he did. And if you ask me, the never say die, bear your chafe attitude of TNA is a mirror of AJ Styles holding his own and doing what was best for his company to make it. Now that is a true GOAT. Anyways folks, that's all I got for today. Y'all like and subscribe to the video if you mess with it, because I know you mess with it. Come on, you like the video. But I try and forget all these videos them that I promise y'all on my community tab out before the end of December, but work has been very hectic lately. But don't fight up, we can get it done. Whatever else is on the schedule next is what coming next. I can't really remember right now. So until then, later down. Yeah. End the video now, dog. What you doing?
I'm out!